Welcome, friends, new friends. You're here, I'm guessing, because the title Coach Deep inspired you to learn more. I'm going to share some valuable information about 5 transformational principles that are the basis of the Coach Deep program. And when you're through with the video or whenever you're ready to learn more about the actual course, there's a button below the video that you can click on and go and get all the information on the course and the different levels that you can subscribe to. This course is designed for new beginning coaches and experienced coaches who want to learn more about how to support clients in transforming some part of their being, some domain in their life, to go on and realize the goals that they have for themselves and to live their purpose. I want to give a brief history of Coach Deep. In 2014, I met my co-creator, Isabel Chicong, who's from Spain, at a conference, and we agreed to have some conversations. Those went on for over a year, where we shared a similar profession of both coaching and mentoring student coaches, as well as assessing for certification, and what we had learned about transformational coaches, many of which were the same ideas and many of which were different. And we combined them and realized we had something valuable to offer to both beginning and experienced coaches. So we began offering Coach Deep as an online course where participants from around the world came to either learn the course in English or Spanish. And then in 2017, Isabel had to leave the coaching profession because she's a single parent with 2 children. And so she's encouraged me to continue on. And I have decided to do that more easily for all of us, is to have an on-demand course where you can watch at a time that works for you. So we're going to share some slides that are about the 5 transformational principles. Thanks for coming.
Welcome to the slides on 5 transformational principles to trust yourself and coach courageously. First, I want to show you the Coach Deep topics. There are 7 sessions, and they are on deep presence, deep listening, deep questioning. Wait, did he sound like the ICF core competencies? Well, they are, but it's about going deeper into each one and what will support you in having a deep coaching presence, listening in a deep way, and questioning in a deep way. Maybe by using a deep emotional intelligence and body intelligence, energy intelligence, and spiritual intelligence. In each topic, we will explore, yes, the core competencies around that, but how we can use them with all the core competencies and all we know about effective coaching to coach deep. Beneath all of this are 5 transformational principles. And I would love to share what they are. There's the principle of cognition. That includes thought, speech, if you're writing or speaking, however you're communicating with cognition. Oh, in a nonverbal way? Yes. So then there's the emotions as a principle that you've already seen in the lessons. And there's body, because our body speaks volumes and our body has a great deal of wisdom. We're going to look at that as we explore the principles. Energy is another principle. I'm all about energy. I've studied a lot about energy and had a lot of energy practices like Tai Chi and Qigong, and I'm a Reiki master teacher and other energy healing methods. So we're going to explore lots of things that we know about that. And then spirit. Spirit is your God, your guides, your higher self, the part of you that knows. Maybe you call it your intuition. Whatever is in your belief system, we're going to explore around that, but I like to call it spirit. I want us to consider the center of each domain because it's important to know that when you go to the center, you can then choose where else you want to go within each domain. So let's just look, and this will be explored more in each of the sessions. The center of emotion is acceptance. An emotion is triggered by an event. And if we can accept it as real, know what it is, we can get the message from it. In fact, one author that I'll be talking about in that lesson calls it the brilliance of emotions. They have a message for us that's brilliant if we'll pay attention. We first have to accept them before we can get that. The center of cognition is silence. We'll be talking about that as well. Only in the silence, yours or mine, the coaches or the clients, can something new appear. We'll explore that. But the center of it is silence. So we have something new to then think and speak and write or whatever. The center of the body is dynamic stillness. Only the reason dynamic is there is because only when we're no longer living can we be perfectly still. We always have blood flowing through us, breath going in and out, and we cannot hold our body perfectly still at any moment. So that's the center there. We'll be exploring that. And the center of energy is balance. I'm a very high energy person normally, but sometimes it's low. I need to balance it out over the days. I need to have balance to be able to be present for my clients. And last but not least, the center of spirit is for most of us the heart, our place of knowing the truth for each of us. So let's look at each of the five principles. The first one is the principle of body. Your body is the womb of your soul. If you want to give birth to your true self, you're going to have to dig deep in that body of yours and let your soul howl. Wow. That was written in a book by Gabrielle Roth. She's the creator of Five Rhythms. At another time, you can go on YouTube and dance with her and listen to her music. She taught that there are five rhythms we have in our life at different times, and all of them can serve in different ways. But the importance here is that your body is where so much wisdom lives. And if you go there, you can have more information to choose what you want to do. And that's what we can offer our clients. As transformational coaches, it is vital that we learn to work with and through the body, my own, your own, as well as your clients. The body equals physical manifestation of all that we are, our beliefs, thoughts, emotions, energies that are laid down through repetition in our bones and joints and muscles and skin and cells and our body. This habit that we create, many habits, are our thinking, feeling, movement patterns that shape our body, that means shape how we hold our body, and allow or not the manifestation of our spirit. By listening to our body, we become present and discover our current patterns and choose to shift them when they no longer serve and make new habits. By transforming our body, we can transform our habitual thinking, feeling, movement patterns that run our lives automatically. We can stop, observe, unlearn, and relearn to do and be what we want to be. Let's look at the transformational principle of emotion. And yes, I have a quote for this one too. We are feeling beings that think versus thinking beings that feel. Jill Bolte Taylor wrote that in My Stroke of Insight in 2006. If you don't know about her, again, you could go to YouTube after the video and check her out or get her book, My Stroke of Insight. She's a brain anatomist who had a stroke, and it was on the left, in the left hemisphere of her brain where the speech center is, and she was unable to understand language or to speak language, but she learned how much we pick up the energy of others, the emotion of others. Made a big difference for her. As transformational coaches, it's vital that we learn to feel and to listen to our own emotions so we can help our clients feel and listen to their own and others' emotions. Emotions are actually dispositions to act, to move, like love. When we love someone or something, like a piece of chocolate, we take action around it. We reach out to touch, to taste, to whatever. They are sensations in the body that give us information or messages about the present moment because they're triggered by something in the present. Emotions are contagious. Ever catch the emotion of your partner or someone else? Or just when you walk in a room with strangers or a restaurant? Yeah, we do. They shape our body, they shape our muscles and our movements, and they generate language that open or close different possibilities for us or for our clients. Emotions are energy with different frequencies and vibrations. That's why we can feel them, notice them. They create different thoughts, bodies, relationships, and environments. Emotional intelligence that we all know a lot about is like learning to surf. If we listen to our emotions, feel them, hear their message, choose how to channel them, and then move on to the next one, there is something there. We can shift our emotions by feeling and accepting them, by shifting our bodies and thus our thoughts, or shifting our thoughts, which will shift our bodies, which will shift our emotion. It's all tied together, can't be untied. Remember, we are not our emotions nor our thoughts. We are the one who observes them. Therefore, we have choice. And the next transformational principle that's the basis of this course is cognition. There are things known and there are things unknown. And in between are the doors of perception. Aldous Huxley, in The Doors of Perception, written in 1954, I believe was the first person to say this. I try to go back to the source when I can. At any rate, we have that pause in between where all the stories, all the knowledge we have is forms our perception of whatever we know or don't know. But also in between is a chance for something new to be formed. Happens over in the right hemisphere, transfers to the language hemisphere, which the speech hemisphere, the language, which may take a little time to be able to formulate it. Why you hear my pauses as I get my thoughts together of what I want to say here. It's in that silence that's so important. In between, it can shift based on whatever. So, as transformational coaches, it's vital that we learn to see the observer we and our clients are being, because the observer we are being affects our perceptions. It's also vital we learn to hear our inner and outer language, means our nonverbal as well as the verbal, our beliefs, our narratives, and stories, so we can help our clients see their own and to choose the world they want to create. Cognition is the process of making meaning through the mind and the language that forms in the way of thoughts and then comes out in writing or speech. The language we use, the beliefs we have about ourselves and our world, create the world we live in. Language opens and closes relationships and agreements with ourselves and with others. It can connect or disconnect us with our emotions and our bodies and our energy and our spirit. Oh, all of the principles, yes. It depends on the observer we are or our clients are. Our habitual thinking, feeling, movement patterns are those of our clients that we are being in our world. By transforming our language, thoughts or speech, we can transform our observer, our habitual thinking, feeling, movement patterns. Our language generates our energy field that opens and closes our possibilities with ourselves and with others, with our circumstances, and with the whole universe. The transformational principle of energy. I love this quote. We are more like a flickering flame than a hunk of meat. Candace Pert, who had a great sense of humor, was interviewed in a series of CDs that I got many years ago called Your Body is Your Subconscious Mind. What she's talking about there, as the scientist who discovered the first molecule of emotion, if you don't know that, very famous person, is that she discovered we have choice. That's why we can move our bodies and affect our emotions. That's why we can affect whether we get a disease or not, by living in a different way and not having a lot of, and letting the stress go. Of course, we're going to have a lot of stress. What am I saying? At any rate, we have a lot more choice. And we'll get into that in that particular session and others, but it's just a lovely quote I love to give clients. You have choice. So, as transformational coaches, it's vital that we understand how we connect with others through the energy we are, and to use this wisdom to be more effective coaches as we support our clients to coach deep. Energy is the unity of all the domains: body, emotion, cognition, and spirit. It is presence, that of the coach as well as of the client. We feel it when we connect. It is how we connect with each other as well. And if we vibrate at the same frequency, we can connect more deeply. And it is the representation of the nonverbal and the non-visual. Energy is felt by the other and influences the energy of the other. So we can influence our client when they are full of energy that's anxiety, and it would support them to calm that a little because we can calm ourselves. It will influence their energy if they're willing, it's a choice. And vice versa. We can fall into the pit with the client when they're very anxious because we catch their energy, and we can choose to shift our body and relax a little so that we can hold the space. Energy is the consciousness, the perceptions, followed by the manifestation of whatever happens in the coaching session or in our lives. The flow of our energy is a choice and thus can be shifted. And last but not least, the transformational principle of spirit. We are not human beings having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. Lots of people have said that. I believe I traced it to the source with Pierre Teilhard de Chardin in the phenomenon of man. If you accept that there's more to knowing than just you, there's a bigger you, there's God, your guides, your intuition, however it is, then you can use the principle of spirit throughout your life. To coach deep, we need to learn to listen to our hearts and to reconnect with our spirit so that we can accompany our clients on this same journey. Spirit is love. It is the expression of our very being. It is our guiding light and purpose. It's sometimes felt or named as intuition, as I've said. It's held by our body, the womb of our soul spirit. For most of it, it is in the heart. For some of us, it's somewhere else in our body. You find yours. It is felt by others as the energy that connects us all. It's more than our emotions and our thoughts. And when you allow your spirit to lead your life, you are led by love and aligned with your purpose. And you can support your clients in doing the same. What a beautiful gift that we can give for those who want it. I just want to speak for a moment about the course offerings. You can, again, find them by clicking on the button below this video. There are 3 levels. Level 1 are the videos only, presented on demand, which means that you will be able to go and listen at your whenever it's appropriate for you. I won't say your leisure. I don't want you to be too relaxed when you're listening, but you can listen on demand as many as you want. You can binge or not. Level 2, you get all the videos, and also there will be a group twice a month on a regular schedule, and you will have access to come to the group with your questions and to share your wisdom around what you've learned and or what you are doing in your coaching, and support me as well. But the group is offered because of the synergy of a group and because of questions I know that will come up for you. And it will be announced if you as to when, and you get 8 of those sessions over a period of 6 months. Whenever you choose to join, you can join. I will be sharing more practices and tools and answering all the questions, as I said, each time we meet. And then level three, if you want to go really deep and participate, and by participating in one-to-one mentoring with me, you can choose either 4 sessions or 10 sessions if you're supporting your ACC with mentoring as required by ICF. So lots of choices, lots of things to know. Go find out all the details. Click that button below. And thank you for coming.